Hi YouTube. Today we're going to talk about a few weapons that may or may not be assault weapons. Now, this isn't going to be a political video here. This is just going to be me showing you a few weapons that could or could not be classified as assault weapons. I guess you're going to have to make the opinion on that, but I'm going to show you some of the arguments for and against why they could be assault weapons. And once again, not a political video. This is merely my opinion, and my opinion is worth exactly what you paid for it when you clicked on this video to watch it. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with the most evil one of all of them. This is an AR-15. This is just a regular factory built AR-15. This was not put together on my kitchen table. Just a factory built Springfield Saint AR-15. Chambered in 5.56. It'll also shoot 223s. There's nothing special about it. It's a bolt action rifle. It has a detachable magazine. This one happens to be 30 rounds. It has a red dot optic, 6-hour optic attached to the top, so I can use it as a sight. It's a sporting rifle, but the government hates these things. This is the most hated weapon in the United States right now. They want to get rid of these things. They do not want you to have one. I do not understand why, but nothing special about it. Anybody can own one. If you can pass a background check, you can go to pretty much any store and buy yourself an AR-15. The next weapon we're going to look at, this is a Ruger Mini 14. This is an older one, and this is also chambered in 223, and you can shoot 5.56 out of it also. But the government doesn't seem quite as concerned about this gun because it's not as scary looking. Now you can make the argument that this one here is a little scarier looking because it has a detachable or a foldable stock. But in its normal configuration, it's just a wooden stocked rifle that shoots 223 or 5.56. Doesn't have a pistol grip on it or anything like that. Doesn't have a retractable stock on it. So the government don't think it's scary. Yet it has a detachable magazine, shoots 223, 5.56, and this magazine happens to hold 40 rounds, which is actually more than that scary looking black rifle that I just showed you. But anyway, this thing has a folding stock on it, so they might think it's a little scarier. Does that make it more deadly? I don't think so. Now, the next one we're going to look at, this is a Ruger 1022. Now this is what the previous weapon sort of looks like in its stock configuration. But is this an assault weapon? This is chambered in 22 long rifle. It's the same exact size bullet that comes out of the AR-15 and the Mini 14. And this one accepts detachable magazines. This one happens to be a 25 round banana clip magazine, and it has an optic on top of it. Is this an assault weapon? Well, most people will tell you no, that's not an assault weapon because it's a 22 long rifle. Well, let me tell you something, folks. I don't want to be downrange of a 22 long rifle. I think it's still deadly, and I think it can still kill you. I think it could do a lot of damage if it was in the hands of the wrong person, but is it an assault weapon? Well, a lot of people think it's not. This is a 1940s Marlin 22 long rifle lever action gun. Is it an assault weapon? Well, this tube magazine here holds a lot of rounds. It holds 20 something rounds. I don't remember exactly how many, but it's a lot. And this thing in the wrong hands could do a lot of damage. If somebody went into a restaurant or a mall they would have over 20 rounds to sit there, and they could rack them off pretty quick with a lever action rifle. But is it an assault weapon? Well, a lot of people think it isn't, but what I think is an assault weapon is the minute somebody turns this on you, it becomes an assault weapon. I think any weapon that somebody turns on somebody becomes an assault weapon immediately. This shoots the same size bullet that comes out of the Ruger 1022 I just showed you, the Mini 14 I showed you, and the AR-15. This one holds over 20 rounds, and if used improperly, I guess it could be considered an assault weapon. But if it's used properly, just a cool old rifle in remarkable condition for its age. Alright. Next one. This is a Glock. This is a Glock 19. This is probably the most popular handgun in the United States right now. Everybody that's into firearms either owns one of these, has owned one of these, or at least has shot one of these. Is this an assault weapon? Because this evil thing actually holds 15 rounds. And guess what, folks? It's 9mm. 9mm bullet is a lot bigger than the 223 or the 22 long rifle that I just showed you by far. Does that make this an assault weapon? Except the magazine, high capacity, over 10 rounds, and semi-automatic. Is it an assault weapon? That's a pretty big hole. It's pretty scary looking, and it's black, just like those black rifles right there. Well, folks, it's very simple. I know a lot of people are gonna be laughing at this, but it's serious. There's nothing wrong with this rifle. The rifle's not an assault rifle. The rifle becomes an assault rifle when somebody intends to assault somebody. None of these weapons you see here on this table are assault rifles, because I personally own all of them, and I don't plan on assaulting anybody. Assaulting somebody is intentionally wanting to go in and hurt somebody. You have intent. I'm never going to do that. So none of these weapons are assault weapons. So I just want people to think about this. You know, when you go and vote, and just think about it. These agencies that are not elected officials, like the ATF was formed to enforce laws, not make laws. And what they're trying to do on certain things, and I'm not going to go deep down this rabbit hole, I just want to point out a couple things, is they're trying to make laws without it being passed in Congress, and that's not what the Constitution says. A law has to be passed by Congress, both sides of Congress, and be signed into law by the executive branch. The ATF is none of those. And the judicial branch is supposed to interpret the laws, not the ATF. So I want you to think about this when you vote. I'm never going to tell you which way to vote. I'm not going to tell you this way or that way. I just want people to use common sense. I think of myself as not a smart person, but I do have common sense. And common sense tells me that none of these are assault weapons right now. And if you pass all these gun laws restricting law-abiding citizens from having what is in the Constitution, you're only taking the guns out of the hands of the law-abiding citizens. The criminals will still get them. They don't have to pass a background check. They just go down to Joe's Hot Corner and pick up whatever they want from another criminal. So just think about this, folks. It's just common sense things. Are these assault weapons? Should we ban the evil AR-15? I mean, it does look pretty evil sitting there, doesn't it? Anyway, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Just think about everything I told you. And once again, this is merely my opinion. Thank you very much for watching my video. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if you have any comments on anything that I've told you. I'd love to hear them from you. Thank you again.